I've heard people say all my life that we are living in the last and evil days. Just look around at all the horrible things that are happening all over the world today. Jesus is surely soon to return to save us from this horrible day we're living in. But I wonder, is it possible that a lot of us simply have a pessimistic attitude? And so we're looking for those types of things, and that is what we see. Like Scripture says, seek and ye shall find. Could we be conditioned to only see negative things, to only look for negative things? Consider this. It is a fact that for the majority of our existence on the planet, it has been legal to beat your wife. In almost every community, country, but now, in these last and evil days, you could beat your wife or your girlfriend, and she could be too scared to press charges, and it wouldn't even matter. The law enforcement agency will decide to take the case upon themselves and defend your wife for herself, where she is too scared to defend herself. Now again, that whole process does still have its flaws, but man, it's way better than it was just 10 years ago. The extreme poverty rate has drastically dropped in America as well as the entire planet. Not too long ago, in America, a black mother's only recourse, a young son or daughter was beaten or brutally raped by a white man, to hold that child, rock them, and cry with them. There was absolutely nothing she could do about it. Nothing the child's father can do about it. It was legal. They were property. And the master could do whatever he wanted to you or your children. Today, nothing like that even exists. As I stand here and make this video today, we have the first female vice president in American history, as well as the first black vice president in American history. And we have recently had 2 terms of the first black president of the United States. Due to all the camera phones that people have now, along with the cameras inside of police cars, we tend to think that police brutality is at an all-time high. But the actual facts is that police brutality is many times better than it was simply 20 years ago. The first black mayor of Detroit, Coleman A. Young, back in the 1970s, he said, what is happening is that the press, the news people are taking the total number of murders and killings in Detroit and just putting them together, and we are considered the murder capital. He said, but what they are neglecting to mention is how a great deal of those murders are the white police in the city of Detroit killing its black citizens. The police are doing much better than they used to be. In the 1990s, when my children were being born, out of every 1,000 children born, 90 of them would die before the age of 5. But today, in these last and evil days, I know I'm being sarcastic, the number is less than 20 children out of every 1,000. That's awesome. Just as far back as 2007, over 40 teenage girls out of every 1,000 got pregnant. But today, it's under 15 girls for every 1,000. A sign of the times. Not so bad, huh? In 1955, over 45% of the population in America smoked. That is nearly half of everybody in America. But today, that percentage is under 15%. Death by homicide or assault has decreased all over the world. And just in America, our murder rate has decreased almost double of what it was in the 1980s, just in America. Hey, you can research all this stuff for yourselves, and there are many, many more positive statistics I could have got into. I just got into the ones that grabbed me the most. But if you're looking for negativity, you'll find it. Seek, and ye shall find. What are you focusing on? What are you thinking? Then yes, you bring those things to you. They surround you. You're always around them. But you have control over that. You can change that. And I hope this video helps you do that. The gospel is supposed to be good news. Would it be really good news to know that the horrible day of judgment that Jesus talked about had already passed? Would it be good news to know that you and your children could have a bright future? That the world is good and only getting better in these last and evil days? We tend to read the Bible like it was written to us. But is it possible that it was written for us as opposed to us? Think about that. I simply want to present you with an alternative viewpoint. A viewpoint that I believe leads to freedom, love, peace, more in line with the good news that Jesus brought to us. Maybe the good news is spreading and making the world a better place. We just got to open our eyes, take off the veil of misinformation, mistranslated scriptures that blind us to the truth. So we miss all the wonderful things that the good news has brought into the world. How it's changed and transformed the world, made it a better place, a safer place. Again, still has problems, but it's still the gospel, the good news, the love of God. It's just love, period, is spreading and transforming and changing us and the world. One thing about it, though, is that if you search history, you'll find out that the first century believers believed that the gospel was spreading and the world was changing for the better. They believed the last days that Jesus spoke of had passed, had happened in a generation just as he had spoken, and that everything was turning out for the good and getting better, and they saw it in their lifetime. The Romans, who were their major persecutors, became Christians. Things were changing for the better. Let it marinate. Pray about it and decide for yourself. If you want to see more from us crazy Christians, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're a returning guest and haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's free. Plus, hit the notifications bell to be notified every time we post a new video. Thanks for watching us crazy Christians. Until next time, be blessed.